Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, the South African Wanderer, and I'm recording this on the 4th of May, so may the 4th be with you. Today I've got what should be a quick video. With the last update of Photoshop and Lightroom, Adobe has released what they're calling denoise with AI. So it's AI-based denoise for basically their Camera Raw and then Lightroom as well. So I decided to, give it a try. So I'll quickly show you, how it works in the Camera Raw application for Photoshop, and then give a comparison to, the workflow element that I use in my photography workshop for denoise, which is DXO Raw. There's a lot of videos that have compared it to Topaz Denoise, and I don't have Topaz Denoise, but I've never needed to use Topaz Denoise either. And they're saying that, the Lightroom or Camera Raw denoise is now quite close to Topaz, but I'm going to give you my conclusion already, and then you can see the actual evidence. What I found is that for very noisy images, at least the DXO Raw processing is still going to get you better results than the AI denoise that's been built into Photoshop and Lightroom. So let's jump into it quickly. So I did some screen recordings, previously. So I've got this image that I took while on the Owling night drive at Rietvlei. It's a juvenile brown snake eagle. So I've got that image just to process. I shot it at, I think it's 1/320th, and then ISO of 6400, so 6400 ISO. So it will be a noisy image if you do not denoise it. So we're going to go ahead and open that up in Photoshop and show you how the Camera Raw software of Photoshop lets you to denoise. So normally I would just do the basic corrections, but you go into details, and then you go into the detail correction, and it's got the denoise or noise reduction button there. So that's the one you click, and then it will give you an estimate of how long it's going to take. And then it also allows you to pick the amount of denoise you want. The default is set to 50%. I decided to try at 70%, and then say enhance. I think it gave an estimate of 8 minutes to process that image. So once the 8 minutes is done, and I think it was a little bit quicker as well, you get this DNG file, which is renamed enhanced NRDNG, which you can then go ahead and open. I have some basic settings that are then applied, including the lens correction and the color and saturation, things like that. And you can see, just bring it into Photoshop. The noise reduction is a little bit lower. If we compare that to, just the image without applying the noise reduction. So if you just open the image without the noise reductions, but still, picking up some of the exposure and things like that, you see that the image straight out of the camera has a lot of noise in it. that the noise reduction has reduced to some extent. And then I processed the raw file with the DXO. So I've got a DXO DNG. That takes about 2 minutes to actually process. And then I've opened that up in Photoshop as well. So we can then compare, the DXO file in Photoshop. And you can see that the noise reduction in DXO is much better, and there's much less noise in the DXO image as well. Comparing it to, the noise reduction DNG from Adobe, you can see there's a little bit more noise in the image. And I think, for me at least, the enhanced image from Adobe looks a little bit soft, but I mean, it's not too bad as well. So then I went through and did, my normal workflow just to sharpen using a high pass filter, and then, applying a contrast curve and some lightening. And you can see, once you've edited, because you're picking up more of the shadows, you're going to introduce a little bit more noise as well. And your sharpening is also going to introduce a little bit more noise as well. And then I just wanted to, zoom out and show you that the noise reduction in Adobe does leave some artifacts, which I can see, whereas DXO isn't as bad on the artifacts in the image. So that was, quite a noisy image to start with. And I did a quick comparison on image with lower ISO. So I took a picture of a stone chat at Rietvlei as well. And I also did the same 3 things. I just ran it through without any noise reduction, and then did the DXO raw, and then the noise reduction in Lightroom. And I think in an image with lower ISO or lower noise, inherent noise, the actual noise reduction then works a little bit better, and is a little bit closer to DXO as well. What I did find, though, is that DXO also does other things like color correction, which I, for instance, still need on the Sony A1, because Sony's color profile is a little bit further away from where you would ideally want it. So it still corrects for some of the magentas and things like that. So yeah, that's a quick review of using the Lightroom denoise or the Camera Raw denoise in Photoshop. And I think my conclusion is that I will still be using DXO. I think, just a disclaimer, on this particular laptop, I downloaded the DXO Raw 3.0, which is the latest version of DXO Raw. And the noise reduction is a result of that. The license I have is DXO Pure Raw 2.0, but I haven't actually, spent the money to buy a new license for DXO Raw, because the differential between 2.0 and 3.0 isn't as great as the differential between DXO 1.0 and 2.0 was, where I think the processing times were reduced quite significantly between those 2 versions. What I think we almost need to put out is that DXO almost every year puts out a new version of their DXO Raw software. So it's almost like an annual license that you're paying towards that software. I think usual price is about $120 or $130 for the one version, and it comes with 3 devices that you can use it on, and then what you can, and then what happens is that almost annually, they release a new version, and it's the same price. But like on Black Friday, and when it does go on special, you can get about $50 off that software. So for now, I think I'll still be sticking with DXO Raw, but Adobe is catching up, and maybe one day in the future they will have even surpassed DXO, and there won't be that need for additional software. But I think for now, that additional software is worth spending some money on. Just a disclaimer, it's not sponsored. I don't think I'm good enough to be here on DXO's influencer panel, but yeah, I think just a quick review. If you are processing, using either Lightroom or Photoshop on the Denoise AI tool that Adobe's released. And I think one other thing is that you will need quite a powerful processor in your computer or your laptop to actually get the noise reduction done. As you saw, it takes about 8 minutes with the Camera Raw processing one raw file. And you can imagine, if you've got 10, 20 photos, that 8 minutes for each photo does add up. So, ideally you want quite a powerful PC that can reduce that 8 minutes to, less than 2 or less than 1 minute just to process that image and then open it up. Okay, cool. Bit of a technical one today, and it will be on Friday, so it can be one of our Tech Friday features or our Friday features. But yeah, we'll catch you on the next video.